Hello everyone, welcome to our Planolution channel. I'm Mish.
I'm Blues.
I'm Mastodon.
And I'm Rocco.
Hey guys, today we will be showing you how to make your own trading cards. So the first step of making your own trading cards is to create a template for your cards. This is very important as this is the way that other people recognize your game and they'll be able to see that the cards are from your game and not any other game. So this is the template that we were using for Planolution. Your templates will vary depending on what information you want to show. So in our template, there's the name of the card. This is a creature template. There's the type. This is a space for where the picture will go later. The ability or a description goes here. Then there's the attack, health, DNA cost, and the element of the creature. So now I will show you how to make your own template. So the first thing that you'll want to do when you're making your own trading cards is to create a template. So to start doing that, we'll create a new Google Drawings. And you can use any other application, but we find that Google Drive is easy since we're working on the game with 4 people. It's easy to share your cards. So we make our cards 2.5 by 3.5 because that's the standard card size and they will fit into card sleeves. So after we've made our page the correct size, we'll start just by making the main outline of the card, which is, as I already said, 2.5 by 3.5. And let's center it. I like to make the outside border pretty thick, but if you're going to put your cards into something like the Game Crafter, the border actually has to be a lot bigger, and we do that later, but it has to be bigger because they cut them out, and there needs to be room for error. So after we've made the main outline, we need to decide what needs to be on the card. So we probably want to have a name at the top. Usually you put the name at the top so that it's the first thing people see. It's easy to identify. And let's just make the border bigger. Then maybe a space for something such as an element like we have in Planolution or a type or something that can go here. Then we'll leave a big space for the picture. This space needs to be pretty big because the picture is the main part that people want to look at on your card. Then we'll create a space for an ability like we have in Planolution or a description. And then at the bottom, we probably want attack and health. So we'll put attack on the left and health on the right. After we've done that, we can go and draw a picture for the card, and then we'll come back and decide on what to put in each of these boxes.
Hi guys, Mish here, and I'm going to be drawing the card that we're going to put on the template that we previously made with Mastodon. So here we go. I'm going to draw some sort of dinosaur-like creature, I think, and we'll see how it turns out. So I'm going to be doing a voiceover while you guys watch the speed art. I started out by sketching out the head of the creature that I was drawing. Originally I said I was going to draw a dinosaur, but I ended up with a dragon-like creature. After I drew the head, I began with the body, and I made the wings first. After realizing that the wings were way too small for a creature that big, I made it have 4 wings to fix that. So after I finished sketching everything out, I began to go over it with an ink pen to make it stand out more and just look a lot more defined than with a pencil. After finishing going over everything with ink pen, I quickly erased the pencil beneath it to make it look cleaner, and I began to color it in with one straight color. I colored in the body first, and then I went on to the wings. I made the wings be a different color so they stood out a bit, and the back wings a darker color so you can understand that it's not part of the front wing. After finishing up with the basic colorings on everything else, I began to shade. I started with the head and then went on to shade the body and eventually the wings. So the wings, I made them a red color so that they would contrast with a blue color. And you always want a contrasting color in your artwork so you could really so it just stood out, and it just makes it look a lot brighter and better. I finished up with the shading, and this was about the end of the speed art. I'm Mish, and I'm back here, and I'm going to show you guys how to edit the picture a bit, as most pictures will have some mistakes. So I'm going to open up Photoshop, and I will go into Files, Open. I have a four-winged flyer, I'm calling him that for now, saved into Downloads, and I'm going to open him. And here we go. By the way, you might notice that he now has the end of the tail. Mastodon was just getting annoyed that he didn't have a finished tail, so he decided to add it. And we didn't put that in the video because it took a relatively long time, and usually you won't have to add tails to your drawings. So anyway, the first step when editing any of this is you need to use the wand tool. Usually I like setting the tolerance to 100. And if you look to make sure that it's not going in on any parts of the artwork, then you unlock the file and layer, and then close it. So also sometimes you'll have some problems on the outside, as you can see, like this dot. So by clicking with the wand tool, you can find them all and then quickly delete them. So there's one there. And you can just use the eraser tool for that. So I think I got all of them. So after you've got the surroundings of it finished, you can start actually editing the picture. So the first problem most things have is, like, I ended up getting the marker outside of the lines. This is very easy to fix. All you need to do is you want to zoom in on it, use an eraser tool, maybe a bit smaller than this, and then just quickly delete it, like that. And you just go through everything and delete it. I'm going to delete all these markers outside of the line, and I'm going to get back to you in a few minutes. So I'm back here again. I believe I've gotten all the markers that went outside of the lines here, and I'm going to show some other uses of different tools on here. So the first one that one of the errors that I found on this one is, I believe the wand tool ended up erasing part of this. So one way to quickly fix this is, first of all, to fix the line, you can use where is it? Here. It's the color picker tool, and you just select it. You have to switch because it always sets it as the second color. Then you just go into Paintbrush, and I think I have something selected, so here. So now you go into Paintbrush, and you just fill that in. Then if you want to make it look more natural, you can use this very useful tool, which is called the Band-Aid tool. And if you just click it a few times, that failed. You just need to click it a few times, and it gives it the texture of just hand-drawn, lines. And now to fill in this part, the Band-Aid tool works again. If you set it to content aware, you can make sure that it's touching the outside line, so it understood that it's trying to fill it in. And then you just go through, and it just fills it in. There's some spots that aren't great, and you just have to click them with the Band-Aid tool again. And usually it fixes it, like here. So now we filled in this big gap just very quickly. Also, Band-Aid tool works for pretty much all like small discolorings on the inside, where eraser tool doesn't work, as you'd be erasing the background as well. So another thing that Band-Aid tool is very good for is right here. So I need to fill in that gap, which I will do using the pre-selected color filter, which we got earlier. Then Band-Aid tool this to make it look more natural. And then you see this bump. If I want to get rid of it, I can just go over with Band-Aid tool and then select the outside region, and it just deletes it on its own, which is very useful and a way to quickly save time. And I'm just going to fix some other errors with that I've already shown you how to do, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back now, and I've finished editing all the mistakes that I could find. So now I'm just going to show you how to make some finishing touches on the picture so it just looks finished. So one thing that you want to do is you want to go into images and then click auto tone. That will make it look a lot better. And also auto contrast, which will also make it look better. So now it's a lot brighter and just better looking. And the final thing that you need to do is you just get a really big sponge tool, sorry, not brush tool. And then you just click it over the whole picture until you think that it's bright enough. So I like to test a few. So 1, 2, 3. So now from these I can look at them. So this one's pretty good. I like it. I think this one's a bit too bright. So I think the red part of the wings. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the first sponge tool. And now that we're done with all the editing and stuff, you can go to files, save it, name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it Four-Winged Flyer Finished, and save it. Be sure to make sure that you're saving it as a PNG, because if it's anything else, then it will have a background, and that's not good. And now you can just click save, and then it's done, and you can put it on the card now.
Hello, it's me, Mastodon, and I'm back to show you how after we've done all that, we can put it into the card and finish our first card. So, to put in the image that we've just drawn and edited, we'll go into Insert Image, then here it is. And you can adjust the size, maybe make it a little bit bigger. So now we've put in the image, we should probably come up with a name for this creature. So far we've been using Four-Winged Flyer, which I guess I'll keep that name. And then I usually like to center the text because I think it looks better. And so we were also going to put in some sort of element up here. So if you've watched our other videos, you've probably seen that our Planolution cards actually have these element symbols that we've drawn. So we could use one of those, but since this isn't a Planolution card, I think I'll just put in some sort of image that they already have. Lightning bolt looks pretty cool. So we can put it in here, then just change the color. And then also we always title our cards with what their name is. It's easier to find them later when you're looking for a certain card. And we put in backgrounds for our cards, but all of this is completely up to you. You can change how it looks. You don't have to put in a background. You could just do a solid color. But how we do backgrounds is we've drawn some backgrounds and then we put them behind the image. So I think I'll be able to find one here. Here's a background. So this was a beach background that we drew, and it doesn't really fit this picture, but I'll just show how you can put in a background. So you just insert it like we did for the image on the creature, just then you have to crop it to fit the box where the image is, and then you make it go behind the border and just make the color transparent, and then now we have a background. So you don't have to have a background, as I've already said. If you don't want to draw backgrounds for your creatures, you can just put in a color. Also, instead of drawing a background and putting creatures in front of it, you can draw your creatures with a background, just as we found. That takes a lot of time, and also we ran out of markers pretty fast when we were doing that, so we started drawing one background that we would use for a few cards instead of a unique background for each card, which I think it still looks pretty nice. So, but here we're just going to have a solid color background, I think. Then for its ability or any description that you want to put in here, I'll just write when this creature enters the field, draw a card. I misspelled field. And so that's the ability. And then you want to probably put some other stats for the creature. For us, we'll do attack and health like we do for Planolution. I usually also like to center these. And then you want to make the text on your cards as big as you can, because the card it might look big on the screen, but actually it's pretty small. It's only 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So you want all of the text to be visible so it's easy to read. So we'll put like 500 attack and 600 health, and then make the text bigger. And that's it for basically making your card templates and then putting in an image. If you want, you can customize all of this. You can change the color to anything that you want. You can set it to some sort of gradient. Just what we found with when you put a gradient behind the creature, the gradient looks too professional, and if your creatures are hand drawn like ours are, then it doesn't really fit. But if you draw your creatures on a computer, then it might work well. But so I think I'll keep a solid color. That's all for making your own trading cards. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment below about what other videos you would like to see, or you can email us at askplanolution@gmail.com. Thank you for watching, and
Goodbye.